Welcome back to Versatile Globe, where we dive into fascinating topics from around the world. Today we're discussing a big question in the tech world. Can Huawei make a comeback with Google? With the challenges and changes Huawei has faced over the past few years, could a potential reunion with Google turn things around for the Chinese tech giant? Let's explore. To understand the impact of this potential comeback, we need to go back to 2019. That's when Huawei was blacklisted by the US government, resulting in the loss of access to Google's software and services. This was a huge blow, as it meant Huawei's smartphones could no longer run key Google apps like YouTube, Gmail, or even the Play Store. To cope with this, Huawei launched its own operating system called HarmonyOS and expanded the app gallery to replace the Play Store. Although these efforts showed promise, the reality is that many users outside of China still miss the familiar Google experience. This made Huawei's smartphones less appealing in key international markets. So what would happen if Huawei could use Google services again? Well, first, it would bring Huawei back into direct competition with other top smartphone brands like Samsung, Apple, and Xiaomi. Here are a few key areas where it could have a major impact. 1. Access to the Google ecosystem. With Google mobile services back, Huawei's phones would once again offer popular apps like Google Maps, YouTube, and Gmail, which could significantly boost their appeal in Western markets. 2. Restoring consumer trust. The return of Google services could also help restore consumer confidence in Huawei. Many users outside of China avoided Huawei's devices due to the lack of Google support. With that hurdle gone, many might reconsider. 3. Developer support. A Huawei-Google reunion could encourage app developers to optimize their apps for Huawei devices again, knowing they would be part of the broader Android ecosystem. However, it wouldn't be an easy road back to the top. Here are some challenges Huawei would still face, even with Google services. 1. Competitive market. The smartphone market has evolved, with brands like Xiaomi gaining ground in markets Huawei once dominated. Regaining market share won't happen overnight. 2. Political tensions. The US-China trade tensions aren't over, and future restrictions could still affect Huawei's access to technology or partnerships with American companies like Google. 3. Supply chain issues. Huawei's smartphone production has been hit hard by restrictions on chip manufacturing. Without access to the latest technology, even with Google services, Huawei might struggle to compete on hardware performance. So, how could this play out for Huawei? Here are some possible scenarios for its future in the smartphone industry. A gradual recovery. Huawei could slowly regain market share by focusing on regions where it still has a strong presence, like China and parts of Europe, while expanding its global reach. 2. Partnering with other companies. Huawei might look to partner with other tech companies for chip development or software integration to reduce reliance on US-based firms. 3. Focusing on other technologies. If the smartphone business remains challenging, Huawei could pivot toward other areas, like 5G infrastructure, AI, or cloud computing, where it has a competitive edge. So should you consider buying a Huawei phone right now? If you're in a region where Google services aren't a deal breaker, Huawei's hardware is still top-notch. But if Google apps are a must-have, it might be wise to wait and see if the situation changes. Ultimately, a Huawei comeback with Google would certainly shake up the smartphone industry, but it won't be without its challenges. What do you think? Can Huawei make a successful comeback with Google? Or has the ship already sailed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.